Next move, Students' Book 4 by Catherine Stannett and Fiona Bedell, published by Pearson. CD 1. Track 2.
Hi, Holly. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Better than fine, in fact. I've got some really good news. My cousin Yasmin is moving to Freston soon, and she's going to be at our school.
Was she the girl with long dark hair who stayed with you last summer?
That's right. Look, I've got a photo of her on my phone.
What's she like?
She's quite confident and very talkative.
I remember that. She talked and talked.
Well, she's got lots of interesting things to talk about.
Is she interested in football?
No, she isn't, but she does a lot of dancing in her free time. She loves fashion and hip-hop music too. I think you'll like her.
Yes, she seemed really nice last year.
CD 1. Track 3.
Jobs. Babysitter. Business person. Caretaker. Transport. Snowmobile. Spaceship. Speedboat. School. Classmate. Homework. Whiteboard. Building. Lighthouse. Skyscraper. Windmill.
CD 1. Track 4.
Babysitter. Caretaker. Homework. Lighthouse. Spaceship. Speedboat. Whiteboard. Windmill.
CD 1. Track 5. A day in a life. What did you do yesterday? Tell us about your life.
I am a Sami Norwegian, and I live 200 miles north of the Arctic Circle. In winter, I go to school with my friends in Tromsø, but in summer, the Sami people work with reindeer, so my life is very different. Yesterday, I helped my family with calf marking. We were checking our herd of reindeer and then making special marks in their ears to show that they belong to our family. In the past, my family followed our herd of reindeer on wooden skis, but now we travel by snowmobile. While I was helping with the calf marking, I sent 2 texts to my friends in Tromsø.
Flora Turi, 15, Norway.
Yesterday was the same as every other day. I got up at 6 a.m., ate a very quick breakfast, and then I took the bus to school. When I got to school at 7:30, my classmates were sweeping the classroom. I helped them, and then we all sang our national song. Between 8 a.m. and midday, I was studying, and then, after lunch, I had more classes until 4:30 p.m. Did I go home at 4:30 p.m.? No, I didn't. I stayed at school for an extra study class, and then I went to another school for more lessons. When I finally got home, it was 10 p.m. I had some supper, and then I did my homework. Life is all about study for Taiwanese teenagers.
Tao Chen, 16, Taiwan.
I live with my family in a beautiful part of Canada. We live off-grid. That means that we have no electricity in our house. We don't have the internet and we don't have phones. But we do have a radio in case of emergencies. I don't go to school. I'm homeschooled. But I learn a lot from my off-grid life. Yesterday I worked with my dad. We were looking at his designs for a new windmill. Then in the afternoon, I did some homework. I was researching some facts for a history project with other homeschooled kids. Of course, we didn't use the internet for our research. We used an encyclopedia and other books from the local library.
Tom Renwood, 15, Canada. CD 1. Track 6. 1. Fill in. 2. Find out. 3. Get back. 4. Give up. 5. Go away. 6. Hang out. 7. Look after. 8. Look for. 9. Run away. 10. Set up. CD 1. Track 7. 1.
Can you look after your little sister this afternoon? I've got a meeting in London.
OK, but please don't get back late because I've got a party in the evening.
2.
What did you do yesterday? Did you hang out with your friends in the park?
No, I didn't. I went online and set up a Facebook page for my new band.
3.
I'm trying to fill in this form online, but my computer isn't working. I can't do it.
Don't give up. Print out the form and post it.
4.
My cat ran away yesterday. He got onto the local bus and travelled into town.
How did you find out where he was?
The bus driver saw the tag on his collar and phoned me.
5.
Are you looking for something?
Yes, I am. I can't find my holiday photos.
Oh, did you go away to somewhere nice?
Yes, we did. We went to Portugal.
CD 1. Track 8.
Hi, Fraser. Hi, Archie. This is my cousin, Yasmin.
Hey, Yasmin. We met last summer, remember?
Yes, of course. And now I live here. I love Freston. It's such a cool village.
Cool. I don't think so. It's really boring. It's so small and there's nothing to do in the evening.
Well, I used to live in a really busy city and I hated it. It was so noisy.
Why did your family move here?
My mum wanted to get out of the city. She used to have such a stressful job, but she gave it up and set up her own business as a garden designer.
Do you now live in a house with an amazing garden?
As if. It's a junkyard, but Mum's got lots of plans.
CD 1. Track 9.
I love this film. It's so funny.
I agree. And Carey Mulligan is such a great actress.
You've got such a big house, Fraser.
It is big, but it's so cold in winter.
CD 1. Track 10. Ezekiel, the Bee Guardian. I used to be a completely different person, says Ezekiel Barzy, aged 19. A few years ago, I used to hang out with my friends and we got into trouble with the police. I felt excluded and I only saw the negative things in my community. But when Ezekiel was 17 years old, he got involved in a project run by Zoe Palmer, and his life began to change. Zoe used to be a filmmaker for a TV nature channel, and she spent some time in Albania filming bees and beekeepers. She was impressed by the relaxed and calm atmosphere around the beekeepers. When she got back to Britain, she set up the Golden Company. It teaches young people in London about beekeeping and gives them the opportunity to connect with nature and to find out how to develop, market, and sell honey products. Ezekiel is now a bee guardian, and he looks after a hive on the roof garden of the Nomura Investment Bank in the heart of the City of London. The bank buys all the honey and uses it at meetings and business breakfasts. There are several other hives in London, and they all have special bee guardians from the Golden Company. Ezekiel also helps to run a stall at a local market in the city. He and other bee guardians make beauty products from honey and sell them on the stall. Ezekiel was scared of the bees when he started his training, but he learnt to calm down and not to panic. "I'm more in touch with nature now," he explains. "I understand how bees operate." He is also much more confident about himself and his role in society. "Now I've got a chance in life to become successful," he says. "I'm glad the company was there for me when I needed it." CD1 Track 11.
In this week's episode of The Moment My Life Changed, we're talking to Laura Redway, world-famous trumpet player. Laura Redway was an ordinary kid living an ordinary life in Baltimore in the USA. But on the 15th of February, 1999, Laura's life changed completely. Laura, tell us what happened.
Well, I was 11 years old. It was the end of the day, and I was coming home from school. I was walking along the street, thinking about school and homework. I turned the corner near the bookstore as usual, and I saw a band on the street playing music. There were 4 of them, 2 guitar players, a singer, and a trumpet player. I stopped and listened to them. They made an amazing sound. I didn't know what type of music they were playing, but I knew that I loved it, especially the sound of the trumpet. When the band finished, I ran home. My mom was in the kitchen. "Mom," I said, "I want to play the trumpet." She was very surprised, but I didn't give up. I asked every day for weeks, and finally she agreed, and I started trumpet lessons.
CD1 Track 12.
I don't like this town. It's so boring.
Oh, I don't agree. I think it's really great. It's got such a fantastic park, and the sports centre is so cheap.
Well, that's true. But we live such a long way from the town centre, and the buses are so expensive.
Yes, but you have a really big house with a lovely garden. You're so lucky.
CD1 Track 13. 1.
I was listening to some music when I heard a strange noise.
2.
My sister didn't used to Like coffee. But now she drinks 5 cups a day.
3.
She's a really clever girl, but she's so lazy.
4.
My friend's dad used to own a speedboat.
5.
Why were you running away from that boy?
6.
Can you look after my dog this afternoon?
CD 1. Track 14.
Where are all the bees?
1.
Bees are disappearing. All around the world, there are reports that bees are flying away from their hives and not returning. Farmers, scientists, and environmental groups are very worried, and they are trying to find out why it's happening.
2.
But does it really matter if bees disappear? Are they so important to our environment? The short answer is yes, it does matter, and yes, they are important. Bees fly around from flower to flower looking for nectar and pollen. They use these to produce honey, which is food for their colonies. But at the same time, the bees help to move pollen from one flower to another. This process is called pollination. Pollination means that the flowers can create seeds and new flowers. Without bees, many flowers can't make seeds or fruit. In fact, bees are responsible for the pollination of 1/3 of all the plants which we eat. A single hive with 50,000 honeybees can pollinate 500,000 plants in one day. Imagine a world with no apples, carrots, onions, raspberries, strawberries, or, of course, honey. That's a world with no bees.
3.
So, why are the bees disappearing? Scientists think that there are several possible reasons, including climate change, disease, and pesticides, chemicals which kill insects.
4.
But it's not all bad news. Beekeeping was popular 200 or 300 years ago, when many families kept their own hives for honey. Now, beekeeping is becoming popular again in towns and cities, as well as in the country. In fact, towns are actually good places for hives because they have gardens and parks with lots of different types of flowers. Primary schools, businesses, universities, and community centres are now setting up their own hives. They enjoy the delicious honey, and at the same time, they know that they are helping to look after some of the most important insects on the planet.
CD 1. Track 15.
In today's programme, we're answering your questions about bees. And to help us, we have bee expert Greg Walker in the studio. Greg, our listener Ahmed emailed to ask how many species of bee there are in the world. Do you know the answer?
Well, we don't know exactly, but we think there are around 25,000 different species of bee. We have over 254 species of bee just in the UK.
That's amazing. Now, here's a question from Ella. How much honey can one bee produce?
Oh, not much at all. In fact, in its whole life, a bee only produces about 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey.
You say in its whole life. How long do bees live?
The worker bee, the bee that makes the honey, lives for about 6 weeks. The queen bee, the bee that lays the eggs, well, she lives for about 5 years.
I think I'd rather be a queen bee. So here's my last question, and this is from Henry. How far do bees usually fly on one trip?
Honeybees usually fly up to about 6.5 kilometres on a trip to collect nectar and pollen. And they fly pretty fast too, at around 24 kilometres per hour.
Very interesting. Now, let's talk about something.
CD1. Track 16. Make a decision. A difference. It to the final. Someone's dream come true. Keep. A secret. Calm. Control. In touch. Go. Abroad. Crazy. For a walk. Missing. CD1. Track 17. 1.
Hannah goes crazy every time she hears One Direction.
2.
My favourite One Direction CD went missing yesterday. Where is it?
3.
It's a surprise present for your sister. Can you keep a secret?
4.
I can't believe it! You made my dream come true!
CD1. Track 18. 1.
Don't forget to keep in touch when you move.
2.
I made a bad decision when I sold my bike.
3.
Please try to keep control of your dog.
CD1. Track 19.
Making dreams come true. In a small fishing village in southern Thailand, some boys enthusiastically play football. They run, shout, jump and kick, like most other football players. But these boys are especially good at keeping control of the ball because their football pitch is a raft in the middle of the sea. They live on the island of Koh Phangan, where all the houses are on stilts. The island has a total population of 300 families. But although the village is small, its success on the football pitch has been huge. Since 2004, the Phangan Football Club has won the Thai Youth Football Championships 7 times. The story of Phangan FC begins back in 1986. Some of the young boys from the village were watching the World Cup Football Championships on television. Suddenly, one of the boys said, "We watch football on TV, but we've never played it." The boys made a decision. Our football team starts today. We want to become world champions, they shouted. But the villagers laughed at them. Are you crazy? Have you ever played football? They asked. You've already formed a team, but you haven't found a pitch yet. How can you practice? The boys were determined to make their dream come true. They used old fishing boats and pieces of wood to make a floating football pitch. They practiced for hours every day, even when the pitch was wet, and developed amazing skills. That first year, they made it to the semi-finals of the local football competition. They have now played for over 25 years, and they are one of the best youth football teams in the country.
CD1. Track 20. 1.
Sculpture.
2.
Sculptor.
3.
Photographer.
4.
Photograph.
5.
Playwright.
6.
Play.
7.
Novelist.
8.
Novel.
9.
Poet.
10.
Poem.
11.
Art.
12.
Artist.
CD1. Track 21.
I dropped it again. I'm hopeless at this.
You've never played with Archie. He can't catch a thing.
Shh! Look, he's over there. He's waving at us. You're late, Archie. What's up?
You'll never believe this.
What?
I've just heard some amazing news.
So? Come on, what's the story?
Well, I was reading the paper, and you won't believe it, but Mr. Turnbull, the football coach, has won a national songwriting competition.
No way!
Mr. Turnbull is a songwriter. You're kidding me. He looks like he can't even sing in tune.
Seriously, I swear it's true. He wrote the music for a chocolate bar advert on TV last year.
Oh, unbelievable! And he's always saying that chocolate is bad for us.
CD1. Track 22.
I've just heard some amazing news.
What's the story?
My uncle's just got a job as the head teacher at our school.
No way!
You won't believe it, but I've won first prize in a poetry competition.
You're kidding.
Seriously.
What's up, Fraser?
I've just found £20 in my pocket.
Unbelievable.
CD1. Track 23.
It's never too soon to aim for success. Nancy Yi Fan was just 11 years old in 2004 when she started to write Swordbird, a fantasy novel about birds. She spent 2 years writing it and then emailed the book to several large publishing companies in the USA. Just 1 month later, in 2006, Nancy had a publishing deal and became one of the youngest published novelists in the USA. But what makes Nancy's achievement even more impressive is the fact that English isn't her first language. Nancy was born to Chinese parents in China, and they moved to the USA when she was 7 years old. In 2008, Swordbird reached the top of the New York Times bestseller list. Nancy has now written a prequel to Swordbird called Sword Quest, and she's also translated Swordbird into Chinese. It's never too late to learn something new. In 1989, there was an exhibition of Aboriginal art at a gallery in Sydney, Australia. The exhibition was a big success, and many art dealers and gallery owners became particularly interested in one of the artists there, Emily Kungware. Kungware's painting, Emu Woman, was the image on the front cover of the catalogue. The art world of Australia wanted to know more about this extraordinary artist. Who is she? They wondered. What has she already painted? Amazingly, Kungware was a 79-year-old Aboriginal woman, and Emu Woman was her first ever painting on canvas. In the following 8 years, Kungware produced nearly 3,000 paintings, approximately one painting per day. She died in 1999 and is now one of Australia's most famous abstract artists. Her paintings have become famous around the world. Not a bad achievement for an artist who only began painting at the age of 78.
CD 1. Track 24.
And our last news item is about Raj Patel. He's just 14 years old and he's never sung in public before. But the student from Bristol is now famous after his online music video got over 1 million hits in a week. 2 weeks ago, Raj was an ordinary boy in an ordinary school, but then he wrote and performed a rap about school lunches as part of a biology project. He designed his own costume for the video, in which he dances and sings dressed as a giant burger. And his musician sister, Nisha, provides the musical accompaniment on guitar and drums. Actor Jennifer Marquez saw the video and posted a link to it on her blog. And now, US chat show host Larry Nixon has invited Raj to come to New York and perform his rap live on his show. What does Raj think about it all?
I'm amazed to think all this could come from a school project. Of course, I'm excited and a bit scared too.
CD 1. Track 25.
I've just heard some amazing news.
So, what's the story?
My sister has won a car.
No way!
Seriously, I swear it's true.
That's fantastic.
CD 1. Track 26. 1.
I've just made an important decision. I want to be a sculptor.
2.
We've just met a really famous novelist.
3.
They've lived in that house for 15 years.
4.
My sister has never been abroad.
5.
I haven't spoken to Bill since October.
6.
Our team made it to the final last year.
CD1. Track 27. The Hyper-Polyglot. Bruce Bailey Hamilton, from Callander in Scotland, is only 14 years old, but he's already a talented hyper-polyglot. Who or what is a hyper-polyglot? It's not an illness or a strange animal. It's a term for someone who can speak several languages fluently. Bruce has recently won a competition to find the most multilingual child in the UK. His first foreign languages were French and German, which he started learning at school when he was 7 years old. At the age of 9, he decided to learn a language with a different alphabet and began to study Russian. It wasn't easy. Russian grammar is really difficult, says Bruce, but he didn't stop. The next language was Chinese. Chinese is very interesting, even though it has no alphabet, says Bruce. I found it hard at the start, but it gets easier. I now think Chinese is the easiest of the languages to speak. When you are in China, and you can speak Chinese, the people are much more friendly. He can also speak Spanish, Arabic, and, of course, English, and he is planning to learn Lebanese Arabic soon. Bruce is clearly a very talented and clever teenager, but he has also worked very hard in order to learn these languages. Since the age of 12, Bruce has spent about 20 hours per week of his free time on his language studies during the school term and many more hours over the school holidays. Bruce isn't the only talented linguist in his family. His brother, Angus, and his sister, Lucy, are both studying several foreign languages. It's a big surprise to his parents. My husband and I are both dreadful at languages, says his mother, Paula. I am absolutely thrilled for Bruce. He's worked so hard, and he enjoys using the languages and communicating with them. CD1. Track 28. 7.
Oh dear.
8.
Ah! A snake! Ah!
9.
What are you doing?
10.
Wow! That's amazing!
11.
It's so sad.
12.
That's so funny.
CD1. Track 29. 1A.
What's that?
1B. What's that? 2A.
It's great news.
2B. It's great news! 3A.
Look! A shark!
3B. Look! A shark! CD1. Track 30.
What's in a smile? You can't hope to learn all the world's languages, but there's one language which you can communicate with everywhere. Your smile. Smiling can show people that you're friendly and cheerful. According to scientists, however, we have more than 50 different types of smile for different situations. When something is funny, we usually smile with an open mouth. If we are proud of something, we keep our lips together. If our eyes become smaller when we smile, we are genuinely happy. But if the skin around our eyes doesn't move, our smile is fake. That's bad news in countries where people dislike a fake smile as much as a frown, like France and Russia. But what if you are in a bad mood? It's hard to be cheerful all the time. Some people try to cheer themselves up by watching funny films. Others prefer dancing to their favourite songs or eating chocolate. Others do sport every day to put themselves in a good mood. But there's another, very easy way to feel happier. Smile. When you smile, even if it's a fake smile, your body starts producing chemicals called endorphins. These endorphins send a message to your brain that you are happy. And there's more. When you smile at someone, they often smile back at you. This reaction produces endorphins in their body, and they feel happier too. A part of their brain remembers you as a person who makes them happy. You're halfway to having a new friend. And that's definitely something which you can smile about.
CD 1. Track 31.
Full. Beauty. Beautiful. Peace. Peaceful. Success. Successful. E. Health. Healthy. Luck. Lucky. Wealth. Wealthy. Us. Danger. Dangerous. Fame. Famous. Poison. Poisonous.
CD 1. Track 32.
Do you want to come to the youth club tonight?
That sounds fun, but I can't, I'm afraid. I'm going to Yasmin's party.
What about you, Holly? Do you fancy coming?
Sorry, I'm going to have to say no too. Yasmin's been planning her party for months. It's going to be a great night.
Oh, it's not fair. I didn't even get an invitation. Oh, that's my phone. Hello?
Fraser? Hi, it's Yasmin. I've been phoning you all day, but you never answer. Are you coming to my party? You haven't replied yet.
Well, you haven't invited me yet.
Really? I thought I sent you a text last week.
I didn't get one.
Oh, I'm hopeless. Sorry. Well, would you like to come? It's tonight at 7:30.
Okay, thanks. I'll see you there.
CD 1. Track 33.
Do you fancy going to the cinema later?
That sounds fun, but I can't, I'm afraid. I've got too much homework.
Hello. Would you like to play computer games at my house on Friday night?
Sorry, I'm going to have to say no. My mum's birthday dinner is on Friday.
Hi. Do you want to come to a rock concert with me tonight?
That's a great idea. I'd love to.
Do you fancy having lunch at my house on Saturday?
Okay, thanks. I'll see you there.
CD 1. Track 34.
Most young people dream of being famous. And with all the reality shows and talent contests on TV these days, it's never been easier to achieve that dream. But does fame bring happiness?
Melanie Greening.
I was in a successful reality show when I was 18, and I got a job as a TV presenter after that. My boyfriend was a famous footballer, and we were in the newspapers all the time. We went to all the coolest parties. Life was fantastic, but I wasn't very good at presenting. I lost my job, and then my boyfriend left me. 1 month I was a star, and the next I was a nobody. No one recognised me in the street anymore. People have such short memories. It wasn't easy to find another job because I didn't pass any exams at school. I've been working in a clothes shop for the last 9 months. It's okay, but I was definitely happier when I was famous.
James Levy.
I won a TV singing contest when I was 16. I was thrilled, but that didn't last long. I was so busy with recording sessions, TV appearances, concerts and photo shoots that I never had time to relax. I really missed my family. They lived several hours away, so I couldn't see them very often. And the fans were a problem too. Every time I went out, people used to scream because they were excited to see me. They put their arms around me for a photo or pushed a pen into my hand so I could sign something for them. One sent me a poisonous spider as a birthday present. Now I write songs and other people sing them. I still love the music industry, but fame? No thanks. I prefer a more peaceful life.
CD1. Track 35.
Today I'm talking to actor Baz Sykes. How long have you been acting, Baz?
Since I was 5, I was in all the school plays, and I really wanted to be famous. I auditioned for some film parts when I was a kid, actually. At the time, I was really upset that I didn't get any of them, but now I think it was a good thing.
Why do you say that?
Well, it's often hard for famous child actors to have normal friends, because the other kids are jealous of them. And fans and photographers follow them wherever they go. It's a crazy kind of life for a child. It's also difficult for child stars to become successful actors as adults. Their fans want to remember them as cute little children.
But you won an Oscar for your last film, so you're famous now. Are you worried about the fame?
Maybe a bit, but I'm 24. I've had a very normal, happy life until now. I think I'll be okay.
CD1. Track 36. 1.
Do you fancy going to the park?
I can't, I'm afraid.
2.
Would you like to come to my house?
That's a great idea. I'd love to.
3.
Do you want to meet in town later?
Sorry, I'm going to have to say no.
CD1. Track 37. 1.
She's been shouting at him all day.
2.
The snake isn't poisonous. So you can stop screaming now.
3.
Does smiling make you happy?
4.
He's decided to be an actor.
5.
Health is more important than beauty.
6.
I'm excited about going to London.
CD 1. Track 38.
Operation Smile. Every 3 minutes, a child is born with a cleft lip or cleft palate. Children with these conditions have terrible problems with eating, drinking and speaking, and 1 in 10 of them die before their first birthday. The luckier ones live, but they are often rejected by friends and sometimes even by their own families. In rich countries, simple surgical operations can correct most of these mouth problems and allow children to live normal lives. But in poorer countries, the operations are too expensive for ordinary people, and there are not enough doctors who can do them. In 1982, American doctor Bill McGee and his wife Kathy, a nurse, went to the Philippines to do some cleft palate surgeries. But it was a short trip, and there was no time to help all the children who needed surgery. They felt terribly guilty. When they got home, they started a new charity. They called it Operation Smile. Now Operation Smile works in more than 60 countries. 5,000 volunteers give their time and skills to provide free mouth surgery to the children who need it most. The charity also provides medical equipment and trains local doctors to do the surgery themselves. In this way, the results of an Operation Smile visit continue long into the future. When an international group of doctors and nurses travels to a country, 2 secondary school students go too. The students are usually people who have done a lot of fundraising in their local area and told a lot of people about the work of Operation Smile. Their trip is a fantastic way to experience a completely different culture and help to change lives forever.
CD 1. Track 39.
Today I'm talking to 17-year-old Marisa Correa, who has just got back from a trip to Bolivia. Marisa, why Bolivia?
Well, I went there with the charity Operation Smile. They took a group of doctors to Bolivia because there were so many children there who needed surgery for cleft lips and cleft palates.
And you were there for how long?
12 days in total.
And what did you do while you were there? Did you help with the operations?
No, I didn't. The doctors and nurses did the operations. It was my job to give presentations to the children and their families about staying healthy and looking after their teeth. I also played with the children before their operations and talked quietly with them afterwards. I met so many brave, wonderful kids. They were fantastic.
So you enjoyed your time there?
Very much. It was great to see the happiness of the children's parents as they realized that their children's lives were full of new opportunities.
How many children had operations?
In 12 days, we gave free surgery to 118 kids. It's amazing how many lives you can change in such a short time.
CD 2. Track 1. A.
Most plants can't survive in a drought.
B.
In a famine, people sometimes starve.
C.
A tsunami is a huge, dangerous wave.
D.
People sometimes drown in floods.
E.
A disease can spread very quickly.
F.
An avalanche can bury you under snow.
G.
A cyclone is a type of storm with very strong winds.
H.
Earthquakes can destroy buildings.
I.
When volcanoes erupt, they are dangerous.
CD 2. Track 2. 1.
In the story of Noah's Ark, there was a great flood.
2.
Mount Vesuvius is a volcano which erupted in 79 AD and buried the Roman city of Pompeii under 5 meters of ash.
3.
Lots of people drowned on the Titanic in 1912. The richer passengers were more likely to survive.
4.
60,000 men died in an avalanche in the Alps in World War I.
5.
6 million people starved in a famine in Ukraine in the 1930s.
6.
The world's longest drought was in the Atacama Desert in Chile. It didn't rain there for 400 years.
7.
An earthquake near the coast of Japan in 2011 caused a terrible tsunami. The disaster killed more than 15,000 people and destroyed more than 300,000 buildings.
8.
In North America, a cyclone is called a hurricane.
9.
Malaria is a disease which mosquitoes spread.
CD 2. Track 3.
Spread. Erupt. Destroy.
CD 2. Track 4. 1.
The volcano erupted on Wednesday.
2.
The droughts killed lots of plants.
3.
Don't scream so loudly. It's just a squirrel.
4.
Stop spreading crazy stories.
CD 2. Track 5. Fighting the cyclones. Every year, natural disasters affect about 250 million people, and global warming is making droughts, floods and avalanches more common. Sadly, we can't stop the disasters, but we can reduce the number of people who die in them. In Bangladesh, a lot of people have to live on flat land near the sea, but the cyclones there bring terrible floods. In 1970, Cyclone Bola killed about 500,000 people. It was one of the worst natural disasters of the 20th century. In 1991, the even stronger Cyclone Gorky hit the country. This time, people could use special school buildings as emergency shelters. Unfortunately, many women and children didn't go to them, and around 140,000 people drowned. After this, villagers set up groups of emergency volunteers, and teachers had to talk to children every week about the things which they should do if there was a cyclone warning. They didn't have to wait many years for the next big cyclone. It came in 2007. 12 hours before Cyclone Sidra reached land, a Bangladeshi scientist in the USA calculated the exact areas of danger on a computer. The emergency volunteers in the villages spread the warning fast. 10-year-old Rupa Begum and her friends ran to all their neighbours' homes. "You must come to the school now," they shouted. "You won't be safe if you stay here." All the buildings in the village were destroyed in the cyclone, except for the school shelter. But because of the children's warnings, everyone in the village survived. Not everyone in Bangladesh was so lucky. 4,000 people died in Cyclone Sidra, but this was a much smaller number than in the big cyclones of the 20th century. With modern technology, planning and education, we don't have to lose huge numbers of lives in natural disasters. CD 2. Track 6. 1.
Break down. Stop working or functioning.
2.
Calm down. Stop worrying.
3.
Come across. Meet without planning to.
4.
Get through. Come to the end of a difficult time.
5.
Keep on. Continue.
6.
Look forward to. Be excited about something that's going to happen.
7.
Put on. Get dressed in something.
8.
Run out of. Use all of something so there isn't any more of it.
9.
Take off. Stop wearing something.
10.
Work out. Calculate or understand.
CD 2. Track 7.
Hurry up, guys.
We're coming. Ouch! What was that? Oh no, a snake. Did it bite you? Yes, on my foot.
Poor you, that must hurt.
Yes, and it could be really dangerous.
Calm down, Holly. It might be a poisonous snake, but it can't be deadly. There aren't any deadly snakes in Britain.
I'll phone the doctor. Hello? My friend's got a snake bite on her foot. What should we do? Sorry, I don't understand. What do you mean? Are you saying that we should call for an ambulance or keep on walking? Oh, I see. Thanks.
What does the doctor think?
You have to go to hospital, but we don't have to call an ambulance, so it can't be too serious.
CD2. Track 8.
You shouldn't swim in that river because of the water.
Sorry, I don't understand. Are you saying that the water is dangerous?
Yes, so you shouldn't swim in it.
What do you mean?
Well, people have caught diseases from it. You should swim in a swimming pool instead.
Oh, I see. Thanks.
CD2. Track 9.
TV saved my life. Teenager Jake Denham was skiing with his family in the USA when he fell over and lost one of his skis. His family didn't know that he had a problem. They kept on skiing. When they got to the bottom of the mountain, there was no sign of Jake. Jake couldn't find his ski anywhere. In the end, he decided to take off his other ski and walk down the mountain. But he couldn't work out the right way to go. It was now getting dark, and he was a long way from any shelter. He knew that he might die that night in the cold temperatures, but Jake kept calm. At home, Jake watched a lot of TV programs about surviving in difficult situations. He remembered the advice from these programs and knew that he should build a cave in the snow. He made a hole and pointed it up the hill so the wind couldn't blow into it. Outside his cave, the temperature fell to a dangerous -15 degrees Celsius that night. But inside it, Jake was safe from the cold. But he had to get down the mountain. The TV programs always said, if you are lost, you should find someone else's tracks through the snow and follow them. I wanted to live my life, remembers Jake. So I got up, and I found some ski tracks, and I followed those. He walked, and finally he saw lights. 9 hours after he lost his ski, he came across a team of rescue workers. He was safe. His mum was very relieved when she heard the news. Amazingly, Jake didn't even have to go to hospital. He got through the ordeal without any injuries. So, the next time someone says that watching TV is a waste of time, think of Jake. Sometimes TV can save your life.
CD2. Track 10.
Today, we're talking to mountain rescue worker Mike Jones. Mike, there are a lot of TV programs about survival these days. Do these programs help people when they get into trouble?
Sometimes, yes, they can help. But these programs can be dangerous, too. The presenters do some crazy things.
What do you mean?
Well, they swim across ice-cold rivers, for example. Or they eat disgusting things that can give you a disease. It's okay to do that if the only other choice is death. But people have to understand that it's not safe.
Have you ever had to save someone who did something that they saw on TV?
Yes. Last year, we rescued someone who wanted to live all winter in the mountains without proper shelter.
Wow, that was brave.
Not brave, stupid. He was lucky that he didn't die of cold. You should sleep in snow caves in emergencies only. You should never choose to be in a snow cave at night.
Thanks for that advice, Mike. And if anyone...
CD2. Track 11.
We don't have to go to school tomorrow.
What do you mean? It's Monday tomorrow.
Yes, but there's no school when there's a flood.
Sorry, I don't understand. Are you saying that there's a flood at school?
Yes, there's water in the classrooms, so we can't have any lessons tomorrow.
Oh, I see. Thanks for telling me.
CD 2. Track 12. 1.
I couldn't see any signs of an avalanche.
2.
We mustn't run out of water.
3.
The cyclone destroyed hundreds of homes.
4.
In a drought, people shouldn't wash their cars.
5.
The cloud can't be from a volcano.
6.
The earthquake might start a tsunami.
CD 2. Track 13. Lion lights. Lions are important to the people of Kenya because they attract hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. However, they also kill a lot of farm animals. In a country where droughts are common, it's hard for farmers to feed their families. It isn't surprising that they sometimes kill lions to protect their farms. 20 years ago, there were 10,000 lions in Kenya. Now there are only 2,000. Conservationists started to think that there was no hope for the lions' future. But then they heard about Richard Terere. From the age of 9, it was Richard's job to look after his family's cows. But when lions came out of the forest at night and ate them, Richard could do nothing. A fence high enough and strong enough to keep the lions out was much too expensive. When he was 11, Richard realised that the lions never attacked when someone was moving around outside with a torch. They were afraid of humans. This gave Richard an idea. Perhaps he could design some lights which could trick the lions. With an old car battery, a solar panel, and some bulbs from broken torches, he created outside lights which looked like a moving torch. Since then, the lions have never come back to his farm. Soon his neighbours asked him to put up lion lights at their farms too. Again, the lights worked brilliantly. Conservationists were very excited. Here was something simple and cheap which could help farmers to feed their families and help the lions to survive. And there was help for Richard too. One of Kenya's best schools heard about his clever invention and offered him a free education there. Richard now hopes to become an engineer and invent many other useful things in the future. CD 2. Track 14. 1.
Presentation.
2.
Report.
3.
Meeting.
4.
Appointments.
5.
Reception desk.
6.
Phone.
7,
Payments.
8,
Enquiry.
9,
Stationery.
10,
Photocopying.
11,
Spreadsheet. The missing word is email.
CD2, Track 15.
Work. Report.
CD2, Track 16.
Bird. Heard. Serve. Word. Or. Bought. Order. Sport. Taught.
CD2, Track 17.
What was your day like yesterday, Dan? Were you busy?
Yes, I was. I was working on reception all day. I had to answer the phone, deal with inquiries, and also make some appointments for my boss. But I didn't do any photocopying, so that was good. I hate the photocopier. How about you?
Oh, well, in the morning, I was checking my emails. I had loads. Then, in the afternoon, I was helping in my dad's office. He had a big meeting, so I did some photocopying for him and I prepared some spreadsheets.
CD2, Track 18.
Work experience. Today, we're looking at work experience. In UK schools, most students do a week of work experience when they are 14 or 15 years old. It's a great chance to find out about the skills you will need for the world of work. Rema did her work experience at a local mobile phone shop and loved it. When she left school, she applied for a job there, and now she's the area manager. Jed got a work placement with a building supplies firm. He prepared some spreadsheets for the sales team, attended a marketing meeting, and did a lot of photocopying. Some of the work was boring, says Jed, but the people were great. Tell us about your plans. What are you going to do for your work experience?
Comments.
I'm going to spend a week at a primary school because I want to be a teacher. I'm going to observe some maths classes and accompany the children on a school trip to a farm. I'll probably be very tired by the end of the week, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Babblefish.
I've got a placement with the police vehicle workshop, where mechanics repair police cars. I love trying to understand how vehicles and machines work, so I think this placement will be really interesting. I'm going to help the mechanics, wash and clean the cars, and best of all, I'm going to go out on some test drives with the mechanics.
Clarkson.
I love sport, especially tennis, so I've got a work placement at my local sports centre. I'm going to assist with beginners tennis coaching and organise the sports equipment. I'll probably also work on reception, make appointments for gym training sessions, take payments and deal with telephone inquiries.
Batgirl. CD2, Track 19.
Accurate. Analytical. Excellent IT skills. Experienced. Good communicator. Leadership qualities. Organised. Patient. Practical. Punctual. Reliable. Team player.
CD 2. Track 20.
Are there any jobs in the paper?
Here's one. Clothes shop needs reliable assistant for Saturday afternoons.
That sounds perfect. I'll call them now.
Hello, Fashion Fix.
Oh, hello. I'm calling about the sales assistant job. Can I speak to the manager?
You need to speak to Judy, but she's gone out. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. My name's Holly Brightman and I'm 16 years old. My number is...
Hold on, she's just come in. I'll pass you over to her. Just a moment.
Hello, Holly. What are you doing tomorrow?
I've got a tennis lesson in the morning. It finishes at 12 o'clock. After that, I'm not doing anything.
Well, let's have a chat at the shop tomorrow afternoon. Bring your CV.
Fantastic! I can't wait!
CD 2. Track 21.
Hello, Penny Sports Club.
Oh, hello. Can I speak to Mr. Ryder, please?
I'm sorry, he's not here at the moment. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. My name's Yasmin Hayes. I'm calling about the badminton lessons.
Oh, he's just come back. I'll put you through now.
Thank you.
CD 2. Track 22.
Jobs of the future? Nadia checks her watch and jumps into her jet car. Her helibus leaves at 10 o'clock and she doesn't want to be late. She's starting her new job today with Astro Star Flights as a tour guide around space. Sound like a page from a science fiction book? Well, maybe the jet car and the helibus are closer to science fiction than to reality, but the job of space tour guide will probably exist by the year 2020. Virgin Galactic is already taking reservations for its space flights, and although a ticket today costs $200,000, space flights will probably get much cheaper in the near future. Experts believe that some current jobs, for example, call centre workers or supermarket till operators, will soon become unnecessary as machines replace people. But there will be other new and exciting jobs in our world of the future. Are you organised, practical, and good at concentrating on detail? Then perhaps in 2020 you will be a robot mechanic and maintain and repair the thousands of robots that we will use in our home and working life. Perhaps you're a great communicator and love chatting to people. In the future, online friendships will become as important as real-life friendships, and companies will employ social media managers to look after their online profiles. If you like working with animals and you care about the environment, a good job for you might be migration manager. Migration managers will help to move endangered animals from dangerous habitats to new homes. But of course, if you're analytical and like looking at statistics and making predictions, then there's already a perfect job for you. You can become a futurologist and predict how our world will develop over the next 20, 30 or 50 years.
CD 2. Track 23.
Hi, Tom. What are you doing here? I thought you hated theme parks.
Hi, Anna. Yes, I do hate the rides, but I'm not here to enjoy myself. I've got a summer job here. My training session begins in about half an hour at 10:30, and then tomorrow I start my actual job.
You've got a job here. I don't believe it. You don't like theme parks. You hate fast rides, and you're scared of heights.
Well, actually, I have the perfect skills for this job. I'm a great communicator, I'm punctual, and I'm a team player.
Well, that's true. So come on then. What's the job?
It's in the restaurant. I'm going to be a waiter.
Hang on. Do you mean the Blue Boat Cafe? The place where all the waiters are dressed as pirates?
Yes. I'm picking up my costume from the manager this afternoon.
Haha, that's perfect for you. Well, good luck. Next time I come here, I'm going to bring my camera and take a photo of Pirate Tom.
CD 2. Track 24.
Hello, Halsey Library.
Oh, hello. Can I speak to the manager, please?
I'm sorry, she's out at the moment. Can I take a message?
Yes, please. My name's Adam Barnett. I'm calling about the assistant librarian job.
Hold on, Adam. She's back now. I'll put you through.
CD 2. Track 25. 1.
She's going to check her emails before she leaves the office.
2.
I'm sorry. I'm busy. Tomorrow. I'm attending a meeting.
3.
He's punctual and reliable. But he's not really a team player.
4.
What are you doing this weekend?
5.
My flight departs at 5:30 tomorrow morning.
6.
What job will you have in the future?
CD 2. Track 26.
The story of innocent smoothies. Adam Ballon, Richard Reed and John Wright were friends from university. They all had very well-paid jobs, but they also shared a dream. They wanted to start their own company, but they didn't know what product to make. They decided to focus on a target market that they knew and understood. Young people who lived in cities and worked hard. These people wanted to have a healthy lifestyle, but didn't always have the time to prepare healthy food. Adam, Richard and John developed some smoothies, fruit juice combined with crushed fruit. But first, they wanted to test their product. So in August 1998, they spent £500 on fruit and then sold their bottles of smoothie at a local music festival. They placed a big banner by their stall saying, "Should we give up our jobs to make these smoothies?" Beneath the banner were 2 bins for the empty smoothie bottles, a yes bin and a no bin. At the end of the festival, the yes bin was full of bottles. The friends resigned from their jobs the next day and set up Innocent Smoothies. Next, they needed some funding for their company. They wrote hundreds of letters to possible investors, but had no success. However, they kept on trying, and finally, Morris Pinto, a wealthy American, agreed to invest £250,000 in their business. The rest is history. Innocent Smoothies now sells more than 2 million bottles of smoothie per week, and it employs over 250 people. Why is it so successful? Adam, Richard and John weren't experienced entrepreneurs, but they were organised and practical, and they believed in their product. The success of Innocent Smoothies in a big corporate world shows that personality is an important factor in the success of a business.
CD 2. Track 27.
So you want to start your own company. Perhaps you dream about being as successful as Innocent Smoothies. Well, any young entrepreneur with plans to set up their own company needs to think about the marketing mix. The marketing mix is a combination of these 4 things. Product. Is your product a good product? Is it right for the market? What makes it special? How is it different from other similar products? Price. Is your product the right price? How much are similar products? Do you want your product to be more or less expensive than the competition? Promotion. This means how you will tell your customers about the product. Are you going to use advertising on TV or in magazines? Perhaps you can make a YouTube video. Place. Where are you going to sell your product? Are you going to have an online shop? Do you want to sell it in big general stores, for example, supermarkets? Or do you want to sell it in small designer shops? These are the 4 P's in the marketing mix. You need to think about all 4 things: product, price, promotion, and place when you start your own company.
CD 2. Track 28. 1.
Fish and chip shop.
2.
Pier.
3.
Amusement arcade.
4.
Go-karts.
5.
Beach hut.
6.
Ice cream kiosk.
7.
Seagull.
8.
Cliffs.
9.
Souvenir shop.
10.
Sea wall.
11.
Harbour.
12.
Deck chair.
CD 2. Track 29. Life in a seaside town. Max, 16, lives in Weston-super-Mare in England.
In summer, it's crazy living here. Weston-super-Mare is a major seaside resort, so we get loads of tourists. All sorts of shops open up around the pier. Ice cream kiosks, bucket and spade shops, and places selling cool jewellery. There's also the pavilion at the end of the Grand Pier. It was completely destroyed in 2008 by a big fire, but it was rebuilt in 2010 and is now open again. It's got a huge go-kart track and lots of amusement arcades, so my friends and I hang out there sometimes when the weather's not so good. There are also music festivals and sand sculpture exhibitions on the beach in summer. The winter is much quieter and lots of the summer shops are closed. But the beaches at Weston-super-Mare are perfect for kite surfing from October to March. I don't go often because it's expensive, but it's great fun.
Kayla, 17, lives in Simonstown in South Africa.
The amazing thing about Simonstown is the wildlife. I can walk down to the beach in the morning and see whales out in the ocean and penguins and otters on the beach. There are more than 3,000 African penguins on Boulders Beach, and lots of tourists come to Simonstown just to see them. But Simonstown is also an important naval base, and it has a working harbour, so there are always ships coming in and out of the bay. Most places along the Cape Peninsula are wet and windy in winter, but we are lucky in Simonstown because it's protected from the winds and rain by the Cape Peninsula Mountains. My friends and I often go hiking in winter, and sometimes we go sea kayaking. The sea is too rough for kayaking in summer, but it's calmer in winter, and we can get really close to the whales and seals.
CD 2. Track 30.
Was there a beach festival here last year?
Yes, there was. And a film was made about it.
It was directed by Philippe Trent.
Was it really?
Yes, it was. And it was shown on TV last night.
CD 2. Track 31. 1.
Disappear.
2.
Restore.
3.
Remove.
4.
Discontinue.
5.
Research.
6.
Recover.
7.
Discover.
8.
Disagree.
9.
Dislike.
10.
Release.
11.
Replace.
CD 2. Track 32.
Wow! Look at that tower! Does your aunt live here, Yasmin?
Don't be silly. This is the Naze Tower.
It looks really old. When was it built?
It was built in 1720 and then it was restored in 2004.
Are people allowed to visit it?
Yes, of course. There's an art gallery and museum there too.
Let's go there now. I've been researching naval history for my school project. This is perfect.
Sorry, Fraser. My aunt's expecting us and we're late and lost. Let's ask for directions.
Oh, excuse me, how do we get to Naze Park Road?
Go past the tower and then take the second turning on the left. Is that right?
No, that's completely wrong. Cross over the road by the shop, then turn left and take the first right. You can't miss it.
Thanks so much. Sorry to disturb you.
CD 2. Track 33.
Excuse me, could you tell me where the cinema is?
Yes, of course. Turn left at the bookshop and take the first turning on the right. It's opposite the cafe.
Thank you.
CD 2. Track 34. 1.
When was the pier built? It was built in 1866.
2.
How was it destroyed? It was destroyed by a big fire.
3.
Were any people injured in the fire? No, no people were injured in the fire.
4.
Will a new pier be designed? No, a new pier won't be designed. An observation tower will be built there.
5.
Are many photographs taken of the pier? Yes, many photographs are taken of the pier.
6.
When will the old pier be removed? The old pier will be removed soon.
CD 2. Track 35. Shipwrecks, Pirates and Sunken Treasure. Discover the world of Blackbeard.
Today, marine archaeologist Thelma Broad tells us about Blackbeard's ship. Who was Blackbeard?
Blackbeard was a pirate. His real name was Edward Teach, and he lived from 1680 to 1718. In 1717, he captured a French slave ship called La Concorde. He renamed the ship Queen Anne's Revenge. This then became his main pirate ship, and he cruised around the Caribbean, attacking other ships and stealing their treasure.
How did Queen Anne's Revenge sink?
In May 1718, Blackbeard sailed Queen Anne's Revenge from Charleston in the USA to North Carolina. Here, the ship got stuck in the sea floor and sank. Blackbeard was killed a few months later.
When was the wreck of Queen Anne's Revenge discovered?
In 1996, a private research company found the remains of Queen Anne's Revenge off the coast of North Carolina.
What kinds of objects were found on the wreck?
All sorts of interesting objects were discovered on Queen Anne's Revenge, including plates, guns and jewellery. In total, over 16,000 objects were recovered from the wreck between 1997 and 2012, giving us a fascinating understanding of the daily lives and habits of 18th century pirates.
How are the objects cleaned?
It is a very slow process. They have been underwater for such a long time that there is a thick, hard cover around them. Marine archaeologists X-ray the objects in order to find out what there is inside the cover. Then chemicals are used to remove the cover gently. Most objects are put in a chemical bath for about 5 years.
Have archaeologists discovered any gold?
Yes. Marine archaeologists have found some gold dust, but they haven't found any coins. Blackbeard and his crew probably removed all the coins and other expensive objects before they abandoned the ship. CD 2. Track 36.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Cutty Sark. The Cutty Sark was built in 1869 in Scotland. It was originally a tea clipper, a kind of very fast ship which transported tea from China to England. In the 1860s and 1870s, ships raced each other across the seas to bring the first tea of the year back to England. The Cutty Sark never won the race, but it did come second in a very famous race in 1872. In 1922, the Cutty Sark was bought by a retired sailor called Captain Dowman. He used it as a school for sailors. It was moved to Greenwich in 1954, and it was then restored and became a tourist attraction. But it was badly damaged in a fire in 2007. The repairs to the ship took 5 years to complete and cost over £40 million. As you can see, the ship is now lifted up 3 metres from the ground so that visitors can walk underneath it and admire every inch of it.
CD 2. Track 37.
Excuse me, could you tell me where the station is?
Yes, of course. It's opposite the library. You can't miss it.
But how do I get to the library?
OK, turn right out of here and then cross over the road by the bookshop. Go past the school and then turn left.
CD 2. Track 38. 1.
The sea wall was restored in 1997.
2.
Will my sandwich be stolen by that seagull?
3.
The pier is visited by thousands of tourists every week.
4.
I don't like amusement arcades or go-karts because they're very noisy.
5.
When was the beach hut sold?
6.
The angry man was removed from the meeting.
CD 2. Track 39.
Born to sail. Laura Decker was born on a boat and lived there with her parents for the first 4 years of her life as they completed a 7-year voyage around the world. When that journey ended in 1999, Laura's family settled in the Netherlands, but her love of sailing and the sea grew stronger every day. When she was 6 years old, she was given her own boat and learnt to sail it, and soon began to make short solo sailing trips. At the age of 13, Laura made her first long solo journey from the Netherlands to Britain. Laura then started to plan a journey around the world. But although many people admired her courage and determination, other people disagreed and felt that she was too young to sail alone. The Dutch authorities tried to stop her. The journey is too dangerous for a 13-year-old, and her education will be disturbed, they said. A few months later, Laura ran away from home and was discovered in St. Martin in the Caribbean. She was trying to buy a boat. Finally, in July 2010, when Laura was 14 years old, the Dutch authorities removed the ban on her record-breaking attempt. She began her journey in August 2011, and on January the 21st, 2012, at 16 years and 4 months old, she arrived in St. Martin and became the youngest person to sail solo around the world. During her journey, she had to deal with 6-metre-high waves, storms and strong winds. She lived on a diet of pasta and rice, with biscuits and pancakes. She kept her boat and herself safe from bad weather and also from pirates, and she even did some homework as well.
CD3. Track 1.
Ancient. Modern. Deep. Shallow. Light. Dark. Heavy. Low. High. Narrow. Wide. Ordinary. Strange. Permanent. Temporary. Weak. Powerful. Strong.
CD3. Track 2.
Ordinary. Temporary. Comfortable.
CD3. Track 3. 1.
It's a different temperature today.
2.
Do you prefer chocolate or vegetables?
3.
There are some interesting books in the library.
'CD3. Track 4.
Explorers. Where next? The explorers of the past were the first to see new continents, reach the poles, or sail round the world. But what on earth can the people of tomorrow discover? A. New plants, new people. The biggest rainforest in southern Africa was discovered in Mozambique only a few years ago with the help of Google Earth. Perhaps there are other unknown rainforests waiting for discovery. There are probably about 30,000 species of rainforest plants and animals which we know nothing about. There are also rainforest tribes which have had no contact with the modern world. If we were friends with these tribes, we would probably know a lot more about medicinal plants. There's definitely more to discover in the rainforests. B. Underground secrets. In the USA alone, people find about 1,000 new caves every year. In fact, we know more about Mars than about the underground places on Earth. You'd soon discover something exciting if you spent a lot of time caving. A strange new animal species, perhaps, or some beautiful crystal flowers, or even an ancient painting. C. A world of water. You'll have a good chance of discovering something new if you look in the oceans. There are ancient cities which have disappeared underwater after earthquakes and floods. There are canyons 6 times deeper than the Grand Canyon, and more active volcanoes beneath the sea than above it. If you want to see something down there, you'll need a strong light, because below 200 meters, it's completely dark. But we have only explored about 5% of the Earth's seas. There's a lot more to find.
CD 3. Track 5. 1.
Comet.
2.
Planet.
3.
Moon.
4.
Asteroid.
5.
Star.
6.
Spacecraft.
7.
Astronaut.
8.
Galaxy.
9.
Solar system.
10.
Orbit.
11.
Telescope.
12.
Astronomer.
CD 3. Track 6.
What did you get for your birthday, Fraser?
Come and see.
Wow! A telescope. Who gave it to you?
My uncle. He's an astronomer.
Cool job. What does he study?
Comets, I think.
Can I look through the telescope?
OK, but make sure you don't break it. And be careful not to look at the sun with it.
Why? What happens?
It damages your eyes. You might even go blind.
Chill, Fraser. That shouldn't be a problem now. It's dark outside. Can I have a look?
Sure, but I wouldn't press the red button if I were you. It changes the direction of the...
Wow! I can see an orange planet really clearly. This is incredible.
Yasmin, that's my lamp.
Oh, I knew that.
CD 3. Track 7.
I'm going to take my telescope to the park.
OK, but I wouldn't go there alone at night if I were you. It's dangerous. And make sure you don't forget your torch.
I'm going to learn to scuba dive.
That sounds fun, but watch out for sharks. And be careful not to stay underwater too long.
CD 3. Track 8. Next stop, Mars. No astronauts have walked on the moon since 1972, but some people think that the days of humans on other planets are not far away. In 20 years, there might even be a permanent colony on Mars. We asked astronomer Matthew Simmons to tell us more. What makes Mars a good place for a colony in space?
Of all the planets in our solar system, Mars is the most suitable for human life. A day on Mars is a similar length to our own, 24 hours and 40 minutes. If you lived on Venus, a day would last 243 Earth days. Mars also has seasons, like on Earth. There is ice on Mars too, so if there were colonists there, They would be able to make water.
What problems would the colonists have?
One big problem would be the cold. Mars has an average temperature of minus 63 degrees Celsius. There's also weaker gravity than on Earth, more radiation from the sun and much less oxygen.
So how would people survive?
Robots would build underground homes before the colonists arrived. There would be big greenhouses too, and these would have a temperature warm enough to grow plants. Perhaps we could send spacecraft full of greenhouse gases to Mars, and over time change the temperature and atmosphere of the whole planet so it was more like Earth.
How long does the journey to Mars take?
About 9 months. But if you went, you'd probably have to stay on Mars for the rest of your life.
No one would volunteer to be a colonist if they could never come home again.
Interestingly, that's not true. When a space magazine wrote about a future colony on Mars, it had letters from more than 400 people who wanted to be part of it.
CD3. Track 9.
If the world's population keeps growing, where will people live in the future? Mars is one possibility, and here are some other ideas.
A.
If we run out of dry land, we'll build boats which are much bigger than ordinary boats. There'll be huge floating cities with football pitches and shopping centres and flats and schools. They'll even have farms which grow food for the people who live there.
B.
I think that in 20 years there'll be colonies on the seafloor, in shallow water so it's quite light, not in the deeper parts of the ocean. The people in the colonies will eat fish and sea plants.
C.
If we travelled outside our solar system, we might find planets with water and air which we could breathe. The journey might take 200 years, but it wouldn't be impossible. We'd need a huge spacecraft for 1,000 people or more. The spacecraft would be a temporary colony, the colonists' home and their children's and grandchildren's home, until they reached the new planet and set up a permanent colony.
CD3. Track 10. 1.
I'm going to swim in the sea.
I wouldn't swim in winter if I were you.
2.
I'm going shopping.
OK, make sure you don't forget your wallet.
3.
I'm going for a bike ride.
Watch out for the cars and be careful not to stay out after dark.
CD3. Track 11. 1.
I wouldn't go there if I were you.
2.
If you go to Greece, you'll see lots of ancient buildings.
3.
Which astronauts went to the moon?
4.
What did they see there?
5.
Will there ever be permanent homes On other planets.
6.
If we lived on a spacecraft, we'd never go outside.
CD3. Track 12.
Asteroids. What are asteroids?
Asteroids are objects in space which are smaller than planets and orbit the Sun. They are made of rock or metal, and some have ice on them too. This is the material which wasn't used when the planets in our solar system were formed 4.5 billion years ago.
How many asteroids are there in our solar system?
Millions. Some are small piles of stones, and these are irregular in shape. But the largest asteroid in our solar system, Ceres, is the shape of a planet and has a diameter of 975 kilometres. That's bigger than France.
Where are they?
There are asteroids in many parts of our solar system, but most of them are in the asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter.
Do asteroids ever crash into planets?
Yes, sometimes. In fact, some people think that the moon was created when a huge asteroid crashed into Earth early in our planet's history. And it was probably another impact event which caused the extinction of the dinosaurs and many other species about 65 million years ago. These big impact events don't happen very often, but smaller rocks strike Earth about 500 times a year. There are a lot of big holes in the ground which were made by these rocks.
Is Earth in danger from asteroids today?
Sometimes big asteroids pass very close to Earth. In 1989, a 300-metre asteroid passed through the exact position where the Earth was only 6 hours before. If an asteroid of that size hit Earth, there would be an explosion 12 times more powerful than a big nuclear bomb. Astronomers think that about 2,000 asteroids bigger than 1 kilometre might hit Earth in the next billion years. These will be very dangerous. However, there's nothing terrible to worry about until the year 2880, when a kilometre-wide asteroid has a 1 in 300 chance of hitting Earth.
CD3. Track 13.
Barringer Crater is in the desert in Arizona, USA. It was made about 50,000 years ago, when an object from space crashed into the Earth. Scientists believe that the object was made of metal. It was about 50 meters wide and was very heavy, about 300,000 tons. The crash made a huge hole in the ground. It's about 1,200 meters wide and 175 meters deep. The event killed a lot of animals and destroyed all plants in an area of about 1,000 square kilometers.
CD3. Track 14. 1.
Spy on someone.
2.
Track down a person.
3.
Escape from somewhere.
4.
Take cover.
5.
Decode a message.
6.
Tap a phone.
7.
Tell the truth.
8.
Wear a disguise.
9.
Break into somewhere.
10.
Tell a lie.
11.
Make a deal.
12.
Follow someone.
CD3. Track 15.
Where? Deal. Break.
CD3. Track 16.
Air. Air. Chair. Somewhere. E. Heat. Police. Sweet. A. 8. Escape. Take.
CD3. Track 17. I'm right behind you. The phone call woke her at 7 in the morning. There were no words, just a series of strange noises. Stella listened carefully and wrote some numbers on the notepad by her phone. By the time she put the pen down, she had already decoded the message. It was an address, 22 Hadrian Avenue. Stella opened a street map, moved her finger along the route, closed her eyes for a brief moment, then raced out of her apartment. As she sped through the empty silver streets on her bike, she reviewed what she already knew about her target. Philip de Vere was an ordinary-looking man. Medium height, mid-brown hair, grey-brown eyes. He didn't need to wear a disguise. His face was instantly forgettable. But this unremarkable man was in fact a very dangerous thief. Before he became a criminal, de Vere had been a brilliant scientist. But then, 2 months ago, he broke into the London School of Tropical Medicine and stole a bottle of deadly virus. Just one drop could pollute the water supply to a whole city. Stella's job was to track down de Vere and get back the virus. As she approached Hadrian Avenue, Stella jumped off her bike and took cover behind a blue van parked on the corner. From here, she had a good view of the whole street. Number 22 was an old grey apartment block opposite a small, empty children's playground. In the playground, there was a woman with a pram and an old man sitting on a bench and reading a newspaper. Suddenly, de Vere came running out of number 22 and across the playground. Stella had already put her mobile phone in her pocket before she left her apartment that morning. Now she took it out and dialed a number. "I'm right behind him," she said. She switched off the phone and put it back in her pocket. "Ah, my dear Stella," said a voice. "But in fact, I'm right behind you." CD3. Track 18.
Dishonest. Disloyal. Dissatisfied. Impossible. Impatient. Impolite. Incorrect. Inappropriate. Intolerant. Unfair. unimportant, unsuccessful.
CD 3. Track 19.
What's going on, Dad? Why are you using my computer?
I'm checking your social networking account.
That's outrageous. You're spying on my private conversations. It's totally unfair.
No, Archie, that's not true. But the fact is that you have to be careful about who you talk to online.
I know that. I would have told you immediately if a stranger had ever tried to contact me online. But nothing like that has ever happened.
I'm sure that's true. But you have to understand that some people can be dishonest about their real identity.
I'm aware of that, Dad. But there's nothing inappropriate on this social networking site. It's approved by my school.
Well, let's forget about it, okay? I'm sorry that I upset you.
Okay, whatever. But if you had asked me first, I wouldn't have got so angry.
CD 3. Track 20.
Yasmin, why are you using my phone? I'm looking for Fraser's number.
Well, you should ask me first. My phone is private.
The fact is that you weren't here and I need his number now.
I'm sure that's true, but you shouldn't look at other people's stuff without asking.
Okay, I'm sorry that I upset you.
CD 3. Track 21.
Who's watching you? Ted Barnes is a typical 16-year-old student at a large secondary school in Peterborough. He walks to school every morning, attends classes, eats his lunch at the school cafeteria, takes out books from the school library, and sometimes goes to an after-school computer club before he walks home. And like most of his classmates, Ted is under surveillance throughout his school day. On his journey to school, he walks past 4 CCTV cameras. Ted's school has got 30 CCTV cameras in the corridors and by the school entrance. When Ted checks out books from his library, he uses a fingerprint scanner, and when he buys his lunch at the cafeteria, he uses an ID card which records what he buys. After school, at computer club, the teacher can see exactly which sites Ted visits and can monitor his online conversations. Ted and many of his friends feel more and more dissatisfied with the level of surveillance in their lives. Teachers, the police, our parents, they're spying on us all the time. They think that our right to privacy is unimportant, complains Ted. They don't tap our phones, but they follow us in so many other ways. Nothing is private anymore. But Lakshmi Singh, head teacher at Ted's school, argues that surveillance is a useful and necessary part of school life. Before we installed cameras here, students had reported a lot of problems with bullying. We had tried to identify the bullies, but before the CCTV cameras, we were unsuccessful. After we had installed the cameras, we identified the bullies and noticed an immediate improvement in discipline. Now our students know that they are safe at school. If we hadn't put cameras in the corridors, we wouldn't have been able to track down the bullies. It's impossible to have a system that pleases everyone.
CD 3. Track 22.
Today, we're at Hillside School in Toronto, where they've just installed cameras in every classroom. What do the students think about this? Let's ask Digby first.
Oh, I don't mind. They had loads of CCTV cameras at my last school. At first I felt uncomfortable, but then I just forgot about them. They're unimportant, really.
Eleanor, do you agree?
No, I don't. If the school had informed us about the cameras, I wouldn't have been so angry. But we only found out when we got to school this morning. It's really unfair.
Ferdy, what do you think?
Last year, my phone was stolen. If they'd had cameras in the classroom, they would have found the thieves. So, I think they're a good idea.
Anna, do you think cameras in the classroom are a good idea?
Cameras in the corridors are okay, but cameras in the classroom? Sometimes our teachers make jokes and laugh with us. It means that lessons are fun. But they might not be so relaxed in front of the cameras now.
CD 3. Track 23.
What are you doing with my bag?
I'm looking for my purse.
It's not in my bag. And you have to understand that it's important to ask before taking someone's bag.
I know that, but the fact is that I left my purse on your desk this morning, so maybe you put it in your bag. I'm sorry that I upset you.
Okay, let's forget about it.
CD 3. Track 24. 1.
We had just finished breakfast when the phone rang.
2.
I arrived at the theatre just after the play had started.
3.
He's a successful writer, but he's very impolite.
4.
Do you think your teacher can decode this message?
5.
I wouldn't have shouted if your music hadn't been so loud.
6.
If we had read the instructions, we wouldn't have broken the machine.
CD 3. Track 25.
Follow that car. When we think of private detectives, we usually imagine middle-aged men dressed in brown coats and wearing trilby hats. But a successful detective agency in the south of England has a special group of teen detectives. One of these detectives is Marnie, who started working for the agency while she was still at school. Her first job wasn't as a detective, she was a data clerk. But it was more exciting than stacking shelves for a supermarket, Marnie explains. One day, one of the other detectives was following a suspect, and he asked Marnie to pretend to be his niece. I was scared, but it was also really thrilling. Marnie is now 20 years old, but sometimes she wears a disguise and pretends to be a school student. Young people are better at surveillance, she explains. If you notice a schoolgirl standing on the street corner, you probably won't suspect she's a private detective. But isn't the job very dangerous? Sometimes it is, but often it's just very boring. When you do surveillance work, you often have to wait in one place for hours and hours. Last week, I was in my car outside someone's house for 6 hours. By the time I had finished, the car was full of empty sandwich boxes, drinks cans, and magazines. Marnie's boss, the head of the detective agency, is very careful to protect her safety. My detectives always wear a bug, a hidden microphone, so that I can follow them and listen to them. If the situation gets dangerous, we move in very quickly. Marnie now combines her detective work with university studies. Many of the undergraduates on my course have part-time jobs while they study, but I'm the only private detective.
CD 3. Track 26. 1.
Throw a party.
2.
Wear a jacket and tie.
3.
Wear smart clothes.
4.
Do your hair.
5.
Wear high heels.
6.
Put up decorations.
7.
Hire a DJ.
8.
Travel by limo.
9.
Wear casual clothes.
10.
Have the time of your life.
11.
Stay up all night.
12.
Greet your guests.
13.
Make a speech.
CD 3. Track 27.
Decorations. Casual. Jacket.
CD 3. Track 28. 1.
She's learning English, geography, and social science at college.
2.
I usually do martial arts in my pyjamas.
3.
The electrician left some rubbish in the garage.
4.
He just watches action films on television.
3. Track 29.
Prom night. A prom is a special party for school leavers, and it's an important tradition in the USA. The girls wear a beautiful dress. The boys wear a jacket and tie. They travel by limo to the party, which for many is the highlight of their school career. Proms have now spread across the Atlantic too. British teenagers have seen this American tradition on TV and want to share in the fun. However, some UK schools are unhappy about this. The students always want something better than the year before. It becomes a sort of competition, says Michael Turner, the head teacher of New View School in Bristol. The average 16-year-old now spends £244 on his or her prom night, up from £218 last year and £196 the year before. There are the costs of prom tickets, clothes, and a limo, and the girls often ask professionals to do their hair, nails, and makeup. Our school used to have proms in a hotel, continues Mr. Turner. The richer kids loved them. but others told me that they couldn't afford to go. Teachers said that some kids had found weekend jobs to pay for the prom and as a result weren't doing enough schoolwork. Finally, we told the students that there wouldn't be any more proms. Were they disappointed? Some were, of course, but this year we threw a leavers party in the school hall. We told the kids to put up cheap decorations and bring their own music. They wore casual clothes. Everyone felt very relaxed and they had the time of their lives.
CD 3. Track 30.
A. Explain. B. Promise. C. Mention. D. Admit. E. Invite. F. Refuse. G. Agree. H. Offer. I. Warn. J. Complain.
CD 3. Track 31.
Hey, Archie, what colour is our limo for tonight's prom?
I don't know. I asked how much it was, but I didn't ask about the colour. The driver agreed to be here by 7. What's the time now?
1:15. Why don't we phone him?
That's a good idea. I'll go and phone now. Oh dear. I asked him if he was almost here, and he admitted that he'd forgotten all about us.
Is he coming now?
No. He said he couldn't come.
But that's a disaster.
It's not the end of the world. Do you think we could walk to school?
No way. I'm wearing high heels.
Then I think we should go by bike. We can get to school quite quickly that way.
That makes sense. Come on, everyone.
CD 3. Track 32.
We've run out of food.
Why don't we walk to the shop?
No way. It's raining.
Do you think we could ask Archie to get some crisps from his house?
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
There aren't any tickets for Saturday.
Maybe we can go on Sunday.
I don't think we should do that. It'll end late and we'll have school the next day.
Then I think we should go on Friday.
That makes sense. OK.
CD 3. Track 33. Coming of age.
We asked young people around the world what made them an adult in their country. Here are some of the fascinating answers which we received.
Huang, Taiwan.
In my country, we have a special ceremony for all 16-year-olds. I did the ceremony last year. Before it, my mother explained the traditions. She said that the goddess, Chinyangma, had looked after me for the first 16 years of my life. But now, I had to share the adult responsibilities in the family. At the start of the ceremony, I had to wash my hands in a special bowl, as a sign that I was washing away my old habits. Then, I had to crawl under a wooden pagoda, which my parents were holding. This was my journey into adult life.
Neria, Mexico.
Girls in Mexico become adults on their 15th birthday. Their parents throw a big party called a quinceañera. First, you go to church, and after that, all the guests meet in a hotel. Traditionally, this party is the first time that a Mexican girl dances in public and the first time that she puts on makeup. In the middle of the party, the girl's father takes off her flat shoes and puts high heels on her feet as a sign that she's now a woman.
Bruno, Brazil.
Like in Mexico, girls in Brazil have a big party when they are 15. But some tribes in the Brazilian rainforest have much scarier traditions. The boys of the Seteri Mawe tribe have to put their hands into gloves full of poisonous ants for 10 minutes. I saw a TV program about it, and it said that each ant sting hurt 30 times more than a wasp sting. The boys have to do this glove ceremony 20 times to become an adult.
CD3. Track 34.
Today is Coming of Age Day here in Japan. It's a public holiday for people of all ages. But the day is particularly important for people who have had their 20th birthday during the past year, because today their country is welcoming them into the adult world. I'm with some 20-year-olds now. Junko, your clothes are beautiful. Could you describe them to our radio listeners?
Of course. I'm wearing a furisode.
A furisode?
That's right. It's a traditional Japanese dress. It's long and warm and very colorful, with pretty flowers on it. I've hired it for the day. I've never worn one before, so I had to ask my grandmother how you put it on.
And what have you and your friends been doing today?
We've been to a ceremony in the city government office with our families. The most important politician in our city made a speech. Now we are officially adults, and we're going to a party to celebrate.
CD3. Track 35.
We haven't got enough decorations.
Why don't we go into town and buy some more?
No way! We can't afford any more.
Maybe we can borrow some.
That makes sense. Who can we ask?
I think we should ask Katie. Her parents have lots of useful things in their attic.
That's a good idea. Do you think we could go round to her house now?
CD3. Track 36. 1.
He agreed to make a speech.
2.
They mentioned that you were coming.
3.
I don't think we should invite a lot of guests.
4.
I promised to help him with the decorations.
5.
They told me not to be late.
6.
She asked if we'd booked a limo.
CD3. Track 37.
Oliver Cromwell. These days, Britain is one of the few countries in the world with a king or queen. 360 years ago, however, there wasn't a royal ruler in Britain. Instead, there was Oliver Cromwell. Cromwell was an ordinary farmer until he decided to become a politician at the age of 40. The king at that time was Charles I. Cromwell and the other politicians in Parliament kept complaining that his taxes were unfair, but Charles refused to listen. In 1642, a civil war started between Parliament and the king. Cromwell became the leader of the parliamentarian soldiers. After many years, Parliament won the war and put Charles I in prison. In 1649, the king was executed. Oliver Cromwell was now the most powerful person in England, and in 1653 he started ruling the country without help from Parliament. He was a Puritan, a type of Christian who believed that people should work very hard and that having fun was a sin. Under Cromwell, England had some very strict rules. No one could wear makeup, jewellery or colourful dresses. Theatres were closed and most sports were against the rules. In the time of Charles I, people used to celebrate holy days with special food and dancing. Under Cromwell, they celebrated these days by eating no food all day. On Christmas Day, soldiers walked around town. If they found any special Christmas food or decorations, they took them away. Most people hated living in Cromwell's England. After Cromwell died in 1658, Charles I's son, Charles II, was invited to rule England. When the new king arrived from Holland, there were huge celebrations around the country. His journey through London to his palace took 7 hours because there were so many happy people in the streets. Charles II soon cancelled Cromwell's strict rules. The people of England were relieved to have a king again.
CD 3. Track 38. 1.
He's opened all the theatres again after all these years. Hooray!
2.
We have to pay him lots of tax. It's so unfair.
3.
Everything is against the rules now. We can't even wear nice clothes. He's a terrible ruler.
4.
I can't believe it! He's dead! The parliamentarians have executed him!
5.
They've asked him to come back to England and be our king. I hope he's more popular than his father.
6.
Christmas is so boring. If his soldiers weren't here, I'd put up decorations all around the house.
CD 3. Track 39. Culture 1. Halloween.
Halloween. The 31st of October is Halloween, the night before All Saints' Day. In many parts of the world, it's the scariest night of the year. Costumes in the past. People in Britain and Ireland used to believe that when people died, their souls stayed on earth until All Saints' Day. Halloween was the last time that these souls could get revenge on their enemies. For this reason, people wore costumes and masks so the souls couldn't recognize them. Costumes today. Many people still wear costumes at Halloween today. In the UK, children usually dress as scary characters like witches, zombies or vampires. In the USA and Canada, there is a wider variety of costumes, And there are lots of costume parties for adults as well as children. Trick-or-treaters. In their costumes, children go to people's homes and say, "Trick or treat." People usually give the children a treat, for example, a sweet. If the children aren't given anything, they can sometimes play a trick on the people. For example, they might throw an egg at the front door. Pumpkins. People cut a scary face into a pumpkin and light a candle inside it. They put this outside their house as a sign that they have treats for the trick-or-treaters. Barmbrack. In Ireland, they eat a traditional fruit cake called barmbrack at Halloween. Inside the cake, there's a ring. The person with the ring in their piece of cake will find true love in the next year.
CD3. Track 40. Culture 2. New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. At midnight on December the 31st, we say goodbye to the old year and welcome the new one. Here are some of the traditions around the world. Hogmanay. This is the Scottish word for New Year, and it's a very important celebration in Scotland. After midnight, people go first footing. This means being the first person of the year to enter someone else's home. It brings them good luck. First footers are usually given food and drink and give a cake as a present. New Year on the beach. In Australia, New Year's Eve is in summer. Most Australians celebrate outside, on boats, in parks, or at the beach. In Sydney, there is a parade of boats in the harbour, and at midnight, spectacular fireworks on Sydney Harbour Bridge. Times Square. About 1 million people go to Times Square in New York on New Year's Eve. A big ball of lights goes slowly down a flagpole. When it reaches the bottom, the new year has begun. Auld Lang Syne. This is a traditional Scottish song about remembering old friends. It is sung in many parts of the world at midnight on New Year's Eve. To sing the song, everyone stands in a circle, crosses their arms, and holds hands. New Year's resolutions. At New Year, a lot of people decide to stop a bad habit or start a good one. This decision is called a New Year's resolution. More people do exercise in January than in any other month. Unfortunately, most resolutions are forgotten by the start of February.
CD3. Track 41. Culture 3. Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year. New Year is the longest and most important festival in China. It isn't celebrated on January the 1st, however. It is on a different date each year, between January the 21st and February the 20th. Preparations. The whole house is cleaned before the festival to sweep away the bad luck of the year before. Red is a lucky colour in China, so people often put up red decorations or paint their doors red. The house is now ready to welcome the good luck of the new year. Reunion dinner. Many people in China live a long way from their families, but everyone can go home at New Year because there are 7 days of holiday. On the night before New Year, there is a special meal for the whole family. New Year's Day. There are fireworks to send away evil spirits. There are lion and dragon dances too. Parents and grandparents give children money in red packets. Chinese New Year around the world. Chinese New Year is an important festival everywhere where large groups of Chinese people are living. It is a public holiday in Malaysia, Singapore, Mauritius, Indonesia, and the Philippines. There are parades in many cities, including San Francisco and Los Angeles, USA, London, UK, Toronto, Canada, and Wellington, New Zealand. The biggest celebration outside Asia, however, is in Sydney, Australia. More than 600,000 go to the city's Chinatown every year to enjoy Chinese food, parades, dragon boat races, and performances from some of Asia's best singers and dancers.
CD 3. Track 42. Culture 4. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, or St. Valentine's Day, is on February the 14th, and it's a celebration of love in many parts of the world. There were 3 early Christian saints with the name Valentine who were killed for their religion. They didn't do anything very romantic, but stories were written about one of these Valentines long after his death. He was a priest in Rome, and in the stories, he helped lots of young couples to get married in secret. They couldn't marry publicly because the Roman emperor wanted the men to be soldiers, not husbands. Valentine's Day started to be a day for romance in the Middle Ages, and by the 19th century, people were sending romantic cards and gifts to the person who they loved. The cards were called Valentines, and the tradition of sending them continues in most English-speaking countries today. People don't usually write their name on the card, so their identity is a secret. Some people also give flowers, heart-shaped chocolates, and other presents to their boyfriend or girlfriend. In the evening, restaurants are full of romantic couples. In the USA, about 1 billion Valentines are given every year. Younger children often give cards to all their family and friends, and the people who receive the most Valentines are usually teachers. Valentine's Day is also an important day in Japan and Korea. Women buy men chocolates on February the 14th. This is followed by White Day on March the 14th, when men buy women sweets. Half of all the chocolate in Japan is bought for Valentine's Day.
CD 3. Track 43. Culture 5. St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is on March the 17th, and it's an important date in Ireland. It's also important in other parts of the world where Irish people have gone to live. In Ireland, St. Patrick's Day is a public holiday. People wear green clothes and shamrocks, and there are parades and parties. The biggest parades are in Ireland's capital city, Dublin, and at Downpatrick in Northern Ireland, because people think St. Patrick died there. There are also lots of important traditional Irish sports matches that day. In the USA, a lot of Irish people went to live in the USA in the past, and St. Patrick's Day is important there for both Irish and non-Irish people. In Chicago and other cities, they put green dye in the river on St. Patrick's Day. There are parades too. The parade in New York is the biggest in the world. There are usually about 150,000 people in the parade, and 2 million people stand in the streets to watch. Around the world. St. Patrick's Day is a public holiday in some parts of Canada and on the Caribbean island of Montserrat. There are parades in Britain, Korea, and Japan, and street parties in New Zealand and Argentina.
CD3. Track 44. Culture 6. May Day.
May Day. May Day is May the 1st, or sometimes the first Monday in May, and has important traditions in many English-speaking countries. Maypole dance. A maypole is a tall stick, and the traditional May Day dance in England and the USA is danced around it. Each dancer holds the end of a ribbon. The other end of the ribbon is attached to the top of the maypole. The dancers make a pretty pattern with the ribbons. Padstow. Padstow is a small town in the southwest of England, which is famous for its celebrations on May the 1st. There are usually crowds of about 30,000 people. Flags and flowers decorate the streets, and two people in strange black costumes dance through the town. All the townspeople wear white and sing and dance behind them. Workers' Day. Around the world, May the 1st is a day to celebrate the rights of working people. There are lots of protests and marches. In South Africa, there used to be protests on May the 1st against laws which were unfair to black people. The laws changed in 1994, and since then, the day has been an important public holiday. Lay Day. In Hawaii, May Day is Lei Day. A lei is a necklace of flowers, which is traditional in Hawaii, and Lei Day is a celebration of Hawaiian culture. There are competitions in hula dancing and lei making, and a lei queen is chosen for her skills in these activities.
Copyright Pearson Education Limited, 2014.